I didn't expect this keyboard to impress me the way it did, but here we are. This is the Womier SK75 TMR HE, a 75% keyboard with magnetic switches, premium build, and a ton of customization packed in. At $129.99 or around 7,400 Philippine peso, this isn't your entry-level keyboard. But with features like 8,000 Hz polling rate, hot swappable switches, and wireless connectivity, I think it deserves a closer look. And by the way, we do have exclusive links in the description box below, so if you're interested, make sure to check them out to get the best discounts for this keyboard. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. I'm Renzo and I feature interesting and affordable tech gear on this channel. Go ahead and hit subscribe if you want to stay updated on more practical gadget reviews. So inside the box, you get a USB-C cable, a wireless dongle, a keycap and switch holder, 3 extra switches, and colored complementary keycaps for MacBook use. So yes, this keyboard is compatible with Mac out of the box, which is a nice touch. Now, my very first impression when I held it, this thing is heavy. The SK75 comes with an aluminum case with powder coating, it is gasket mounted, and it weighs around 2 kilograms. This is not the type of keyboard you casually move around your desk. It's a solid desk-hugging build. Design-wise, it feels like a proper mechanical keyboard, almost like my first ever MacBoard, the Razer Black Widow. And I mean that in a good way. This is a 75% layout, which for me feels like home because my very first mechanical keyboard was also a 75%. I've always preferred this layout because you still get your function row without the wasted space of a full-size board, though I will say I prefer function rows with actual function labels instead of just F1, F2, and so on. That's a personal preference, but worth mentioning. The keycap design looks clean, but here's the downside. While the backlight is strong, the keycap labels are not transparent. That means the RGB doesn't shine through the legends, which might bother some people. Personally, I think it makes the lighting look less impactful than it could be. Now, this keyboard uses the Otemu T magnetic switch, which is a linear type. The typing experience is snappy, smooth, and responsive. I would describe it as gaming first, but very typist friendly. It doesn't feel too mushy or too sensitive, but it's definitely tuned for performance. And what I like here is that you can hot swap either magnetic or traditional mechanical switches. That means you can do a mix and match setup. For example, magnetic switches on WASD for gaming and mechanical switches on the rest of the board for typing. Typing on this feels fine overall. The travel distance is good and it feels like a proper mechanical board, like I've said. But if you're someone chasing that deep, thoughtful sound, you'll need to mod it. Out of the box, the sound profile is okay, but not remarkable. Now let's talk about where this keyboard really shines. Performance. The SK75 runs on TMR magnetic sensors, meaning you get zero dead zone. The actuation range is 0.1mm to 3.5mm, which is standard for magnetic switches, but still impressive. And get this, according to Womier, the SK75 supports an 8,000 Hz polling rate, not just on wired mode, but also on wireless and Bluetooth. That's crazy. You're looking at around 0.125 milliseconds latency in wired mode, which is basically as fast as it gets. And the software? It actually runs even in dongle mode, which is something I've rarely seen. You don't need to plug the keyboard in to access the software, but once you're in, you get 4 customizable layers and advanced features like rapid trigger, dynamic keystroke, mod tap, toggle keys, and snap key. So if you're into customizing actuation points, macros, or layering functions, this is a powerhouse. Inside, you've got a massive 8,000 mAh battery. With the backlight turned up to max and using the keyboard around 6 hours a day, I was getting about 3 to 4 days of wireless use. Turn the backlight down and you will stretch it out much longer. Charging is straightforward with the included USB-C cable. So, how does it actually feel to live with this keyboard? Well, as someone who's used a ton of mechanical boards over the years, this one feels both familiar and fresh. The snappy switches and low latency make it a dream for gaming. For typing, it's solid, though again, not the most premium sound or feel out of the box. The weight makes it stable, but also less portable. If you're looking for something lightweight or slim, this isn't it. But if you want something sturdy, reliable, and performance-driven, it checks those boxes. Now, all in all, I think the Womier SK75 TMR Hall effect is a very solid 75% magnetic switchboard. You won't have any problems adjusting to it whether you're a gamer or a typist. It delivers on speed, customization, and build quality. And while the marketing makes it sound like the perfect keyboard for everyone, I would say it's best for people who really care about performance and customizability. For me, it feels like home because again, my first Mech board was a 75%, but I personally prefer smaller layouts to free up desk space. That said, if you're fine with the size, the sound profile, this is a really good keyboard for the price, especially when you consider that you're getting 8000 Hz polling rate across all connections and software support without wires. So if you're looking for a keyboard that delivers serious performance with room to customize, the SK75 should definitely be on your radar. So that's my review of the Womier SK75 TMR HE. What do you think of this board? Would you use a 75% as your daily driver, or do you prefer something smaller? So let me know in the comments below. But that's it for this one. Drop a sub or like if you feel like supporting the channel. And as always, until the next one, stay safe.